Hello, glorious souls. Sorry about the angle here. I'm working with what I've got. I'm actually in a hotel right now. And I wanted to come in and have a very important conversation. This has been a little bit of a theme, I'd say, this does come up from time to time, but around, Lucy, why do I need to feel into my pain? Like, why do I need to connect with that? I just want to be positive about what I want, right? Hey, gorgeous Megan. Why can't we just talk about what I do want? I'm on the call because I'm really positive that, I can have this relationship. Now, if that was really true, and if positivity really just got us there, then there'd be a lot more people in soulmate relationships right now. And let me qualify what I mean by that, okay? I'm just going to use myself, my own story. So when I was on this, I'll be on the self-development path for the rest of my life, but when I was really in the weeds and I was starting to get really frustrated because I was listening to podcasts, going to workshops, doing programs, saying my affirmations, like doing all the things that I knew to do, but I still wasn't getting the breakthroughs. I started to go, well, what the fuck, right? Like, what else do I need to do? There are friends of mine that aren't doing any work and they're meeting their people. Like, what am I missing here? Because they're not even, from what I could see, it was like they're not even really doing any self-development. So what's the deal, right? It can feel, an element of like, it's not fair, and I know many of you feel like that. Hey, gorgeous Joanna. I got my queens coming in who are in soul to soul. Love it. So, the answer to that is that there is this huge pandemic of like, well, I'm just going to fake it till I make it. I'm just going to be positive and hope that it's all just going to show up. Or it's just a numbers game. If I just keep putting myself out there, then surely, he's going to turn up. And yes, you will have someone turn up, but we can only attract in what we're truly vibrating with. Does that make sense? We can only attract into our world from the level that our consciousness is at. So what that means is you can be telling yourself, I know I'm worthy, I know I'm a good catch, I know it's just a matter of time. You can be telling yourself that very intellectually and cerebrally. But if you don't fully embody that and believe that you are deeply worthy, and that you are deeply enough, and that love is safe, and that in every fiber of your being that you can have this relationship, if you don't truly feel, and I mean feel, I don't mean intellectualize, I mean if you don't truly connect with that and feel that in your heart, then love is going to keep eluding you, just like it did for me. I had every new dress you could think of. I was in my best shape I'd ever been, honestly, working out. But when it came to the alignment with my truth and with my heart and with my deservability and with my worth, I was a walking shit show. I was flawed, right? Truly, I was inauthentic. And I didn't realize how in my own way I was. I truly did not. Because I'm strong, because I'm determined, because in every other area of my life, I'll go after what I want. But when it came to love, I was like, why is this not working? Well, that's because I was going about love from my head. I was going about love from my will. I wasn't approaching love from my heart and vulnerability from a place of power. I wasn't truly available. I wasn't truly receptive. My heart was like that. And I needed to get it open. And I needed to love the woman that I was with all of my gifts, with my light turned on, with my bigness plugged in, loving the shit out of my spiritual self, the fact that I love to dream big, all of the parts of me that I was dimming down because my story internally was that I was too much, that I wasn't lovable, that if guys got to know the real me, that they would leave because, I was too spiritual, I was too connected, I was dreaming too big, like I wasn't the sort of woman that was soulmate material. Truly, that is how I felt deep down. But it wasn't until I admitted that to myself. It wasn't until I got to see, through the help of support, by the way, I couldn't see my blind spot on my own. It was when I actually called in the big guns and got the very best mentor calling me out on my bullshit, saying, hey, Lucy, the story you're telling yourself is a fucking illusion. Because I was like, you know, I'm self-expressed, I'm authentic, I know what I want, blah, blah, blah. And this coach said to me, yeah, you're telling me this, but you don't believe it. And I went, yeah, I do. And he's like, no, you don't. You don't believe this. You're not embodying that. You might think that that's what you're putting out into the world, but I can tell you right now, your little girl is running your life with fear in the front row. Major fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear of loss, fear of not being enough, fear of not being good at love, fear of someone seeing who the real me is. Are you getting this? Because this is really big and I want you to get it. This is where it's at, my beautiful, beautiful women in this community that are really fucking fed up and frustrated with not attracting love. Stop fooling yourself that it's just this little tweak. The thing that pisses me off the most about this industry is that there are a shitload of programs out there on the market that you can buy right now for $900 or $100 or whatever it is, where you do it yourself and it's just automatic modules with a little bit of a book, with a little bit of this, bit of that. And you're not being held with your feet to the fire to do the deep work that is going to literally transform your life. And what it is it's costing you time. It's actually the expensive route. Trust me, I've been down that path. It took me 10 years when I'm now helping women in 8 weeks get their life. And I'm happy. I'm a coach. I'm a teacher. This is my path. I'm happy that it took me 10 years so I can be the best coach and mentor. But it doesn't need to take you 10 years, right? When you want your soulmate now, damn straight you want it now. And you shouldn't have to wait another year. And the thing that's going to cost you is dabbling with these shitty little courses. I've done them too. I've been there. I have so many women coming to me that are so fucking burnt, going, Lucy, I've been trying. I've been doing the work. I'm doing the courses. And some of the stuff, of course, they're like, yeah, some of the stuff has been helpful. I'm not saying that they're all bad. But what I care about is, are you getting your life? Are you getting the outcomes or not? I don't care about a few breakthroughs. I care about you monumentally shifting your path so that it lines up with what you want, so that you can die happy, where you use the music inside of you, where you fought for yourself and you turn the boat around and you eject it out of the family conditioning. And no, it's not about just saying, I just want to change and will you help me? It's about you coming face to face with where you're going to be this time next year and the year after that. If you keep feeding yourself the same bullshit that this is just going to get better, or it's just a small tweak, or I feel really worthy, Lucy, and I feel like I'm a good catch and everything. No, you don't deep down feel that. Because if you truly did feel worthy and deserving and in love with yourself, by the law of attraction, you would have no problem attracting in your soulmate. None. A soulmate's not a big deal. Let's just use another word. The love of your life, if you don't like soulmate, whatever you want, your person, right? Your human, your rock. For me, he's my oak tree, and arm's my oak tree. But you'd have no trouble attracting that in, because like attracts like, and we get what we vibrate with. And you wouldn't even need my support if truly, you really were in this soulmate relationship with yourself. So it's time to step it up with what you're actually truly calling in, as far as mentorship, as far as support, and not to play small and not to get in your own way that, not having my soulmate's not really a big deal. If it's not a big deal, then we don't, you don't need to be in my community, because it's really a big deal for my women that want to change their life. They're like, this is really fucking important to me, that I heal my shit, that I live my best life, that I love who I am, that I'm living on purpose, that I raise the bar of what's possible so that the children that I bring into the world, wow, what am I going to be able to offer them when I come from my own sovereignty, right? We're fed so much bullshit in our society about, don't want for too much, and, don't be unrealistic, and, don't be unrealistic, and, oh my God, I heard it from a dear friend of mine yesterday who's in a really, really destructive relationship, really bad. devastatingly bad, and she can't see a way out. And she's like, my mum said to me, well, this is just what relationships are, you take the good with the bad. And I'm like, no, darling, abuse is not something that you accept and tolerate, period. So your reference of your mum, ain't it? I go, there are plenty of references in the world for people to tell us, oh, well, that's just what relationships are. Wrong reference. There are plenty of references as well of people that are in a thriving relationship, and I'm one of them, where love is easy and supportive and nourishing, and I fucking love Anam with more and more with every day that comes. I fall more in love with him and feel more grateful for him with every single day that comes. And it makes me emotional, because that's the kind of love that's possible for you. And you are not going to attract that type of love in if you're going to stay in your control freak of wanting to be right and thinking that, you're already there. It's like you're so in your own way. So many of you, when what you really need is the support with someone who's going to fucking hold your feet to the fire to show you what's possible. But if you're going to stay like, oh, I'm right, and it's not that bad, Lucy, and it's not that big a deal if I don't have the relationship, then we don't need to have a conversation. I can't help you. You've got to let it be a big deal. You've got to let it hit you in the heart that if you continue on this trajectory without the support, that there are consequences. And for many of you, it's not being a mum. Then people throw out the adoption card, well, I'll just adopt, or I'll have a baby on my own. Yes, they are options, but that is a huge, huge thing to do on your own. And many of you are not letting the truth of that in, or the reality that it's fucking expensive to do that on your own, and it can take years and a lot of money. And doing that on your own is really expensive. So it's not that you can't have your plan B. You can have your plan B all day long. It's just I can't help you if you're okay with your plan B. I can only help you if you are taking a stand for yourself to say, fuck that. I'm here for big things. I want the creme de la creme relationship. I want my plan A. And you know what? I am so ready to get out of my own way, Lucy. I'm ready to be coachable. I'm ready to invest in myself, and I am ready to fight for myself and to do whatever it takes. That is the attitude of the women that we work with, and nothing else. I do not work with people just because they want to have my help. No, we have standards. And the reason we have that is not because we're trying to be mean, we're doing it because we can only help people that want to be helped. And I love what I do, and I ain't carrying anyone through my program. I'm not here to do things to you. Like my team and I aren't here to do the work on you. This is a co-creation. This is about you stepping the fuck up and taking our hand and letting us guide you with a proven process to the life that you were born to have. Is that going to take something? Damn straight. Is it going to be uncomfortable? Absolutely. Is it going to be life-changing? Without a shadow of doubt. And that is why we are so vigilant with who we choose to work with, and many of you will know you've booked a call with us and we send you away because you're not ready yet. And you've come back and then you work with us, awesome. And then there are some people that are just clearly we're not a fit. And then there are others that are like absolutely aligned and we invite you in and the rest is history. But what sets us apart is we're not a numbers game. We're not here just to get anyone into our program. It's absolutely the furthest thing from what we're here to do. We are here as beacons of light to attract in those of you that are not willing to tolerate one more day of feeling left behind, one more day of the panic of what's going to happen if this does not get solved. Feeling like you're running out of time, wondering if you're going to have to go it alone, feeling isolated, feeling lonely, wondering if depression is going to come on really, really badly if you don't solve this. That's not an option for our women. They're not willing to have that as an outcome. So whoever needed to hear this live today, I am speaking from my soul to yours to say, yes, we require you to dig deep on our calls. Yes, we require you to get honest about what the fuck is really going on for you, right? The shame that you're feeling, the deep unhappiness that you're experiencing, which is causing dis-ease in your body. This is so much bigger than attracting in your soulmate. He's just the cherry on top. You're the 5-layer fucking cake. You are the superstar in this equation. And my job is to get you feeling and embodying that superstar, because when you do, you can attract anything from that healthy, all-knowing vibration. The work I teach is very energetic and it is profoundly deep. Shifting shame that has been, going through my women's lives and past, generations and ancestors, and it stops with them. Right? I'm like releasing out these light warrior goddesses into the world that are going on to create exponential change in their communities. And I'm deeply proud of that. My big mission is to get this work into schools so that we can start this work at the age of about 4 or 5, because that's what I'm helping heal in my adult women, is their little girl. And we're going to have a different world once we start going to the source of self-worth being cultivated and established at such a young age. So that's my message today, is to get real with yourself, admit to yourself that this is not okay and that it is deeply painful and that there is a huge consequence to not solving it. That is the biggest gift I can give you right now, is to let it be uncomfortable. Let the tears come up. You are deeply angry, many of you. You're not even admitting that to yourself. Fucking full of rage and anger. How dare the universe not bring me my soulmate? How dare I be in this position when you thought you'd be somewhere else? It feels devastating. I remember feeling deeply let down by the universe when I was one of the last women in my group standing, going, how is this possible? Like, why can't I have this life that I want? Well, it's because I was totally in my own way, sabotaging like a mother freaker. So it's all here for you, okay? That's the message today. We can help you. We can support you. We can help you change your life like that. But it's going to require you to get honest about how you really feel, to rip off those masks, those coping mechanisms, the denial, and to fucking cough up the furball of truth to go, I am not okay, and this shit needs to change right now, and I'm going to fight for myself for the first time in my life. From that energy, you will blow your own mind, and we can't wait to chat with you. But definitely don't book a call with us, beautiful ones, if you're just curious and interested. Just look on my website, do all your research, but our breakthrough calls are life-changing. And, I really mean this. Book in if you're really ready to change your life and to do whatever it's going to take, okay? Because that saves both you and I and my team time, okay? We're not here to make you do anything. We're not here to convince you. We're not here to sell you. We're here to invite in those of you that are ready to fucking show up and welcome in everything that you desire, because having a soulmate relationship is your birthright, right? That is your birthright. Thriving is your birthright. Being the fullest, most magnificent, all-loving version of you is your birthright. And if I was you right now, I wouldn't be tolerating anything less than that, because suffering is a choice. It's a choice. And yes, we all have our reasons, but it is still a choice at the end of the day. And I'm inviting you to choose thriving. Okay? Big, big love. Mwah.